Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Mohammed. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I am, please.
What?
Did you go back? Did we go back to the fine thank you and you again? Oh my
No,
God.
no, I am great.
Okay, okay. Okay then. Okay then, no problem. How's it going? How's life going? How are you with the classes, with the computer classes? Is it all good? Good morning, Bernard. Good morning, Kani. Good morning, Madeline and Gulchin. Good morning. How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Great. So I guess there's less of you now. I think it's around 12 students in the morning shift. So it's fine. Yeah, no, you have 11, not even 12. Okay. So we have 2 absentees today. How are your classes going? Do you have any questions so far? Do you have any big problems with the class? Small problems can be solved, but you can tell me the big ones. Do you still not understand anything from what I'm saying, or are you doing okay? هيك أنا قالوا إيلان بالإنجليزي. في حدا ما بيفهم ولا شيء من اللي عم أقوله بالإنجليزي؟
ما عم نفهم يعطيك العافية، بس إنه لو شوي دخلي لنا شوي كمان عربي أحيانا.
I can't do that, Gulchin. I'm sorry. ما في أعمل هيك لأنه يعني ما بعرف إنه اسم الكورس هو expert course، فما فيني إنه أشرح كله بالعربي، وكمان
صحيح،
في
وأنا
كمان في
أنا
طلاب
بفهم.
كثير أكراد لازم أشرح لهم هن كمان بالكردي، فما فينا نسوي هيك.
صحيح أنا بفهم ماموستا، بس أحيانا ما بقدر شارك لأنه ما بستوعب الفكرة بسرعة، لازم يعني بياخد معي وقت لفين ما استوعبها.
It's all right. If you have a problem in that case, you can tell me to translate. في أي مرحلة من الدرس إنه ما فهمت الشيء فيك تقولي لي وراح ترجم لك.
تمام، شكرا يعطيك العافية. ما بقصرك.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else?
Hello, Miss.
Hello, Kani. How are you?
Hello, thanks. I'm all right.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm glad. So you have the pretty daisy over here. I'll know you by this daisy.
Really, I don't know.
I'm saying this daisy, this flower on your profile, that's called a daisy. Yeah. I like it.
Oh, I don't know what's called.
It's called daisy. Daisy.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Gula Baybuna? Yes.
Bala.
Yeah, they call it daisy. Good morning, Zirian. Zirian and her beautiful flowers. Awani, Zirian, they're cherry blossoms. Yeah, I guess. Okay.
All you have a master of flower types.
Oh yeah, I do love flowers. I do know their names. Well, my absolute favorite is the tulip, if you know what that is. Let me show you actually. Let me show you the tulip.
So nice.
Yeah, this is the tulip. I love it.
Yellow color of tulips, so pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I like the dark purple one, this one.
Wow.
It's so beautiful, yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thank you for sharing my flower obsession with me. Let's move on to today's lesson. I think we went over the simple sentences, the compound ones. Today we will do compound complex and compound complex. All right. We will also read a passage. We will read a passage every time we have time. Yeah. So let's go back to the PowerPoint slides for the types of sentences. Okay. We went over these. The simple sentence, we said it consists of one independent clause. What about the compound sentences? They consist of two or more independent clauses joined together by a conjunction or a semicolon. All right. Let's take a look at complex sentences, see what they are consisted of. A complex sentence consists of an independent clause plus a dependent clause, okay? A dependent clause starts with a subordinate conjunction or a relative pronoun, and it contains a subject and predicate, but does not complete, sorry, and predicate, no, yeah, subject and verb. Verb is also called a predicate, but does not express a complete thought. All right, let's see what that means. Dependent clause, what is it? A dependent clause starts with a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun. I'll tell you what those are in a minute, okay? It contains, the dependent clause, a subject and a verb, but it does not complete a thought, okay? Dependent clause كان رستيكن باشا بكرو كارشان تياي بلام معناه طاو نابخشن بوشي لبروي بس subordinating conjunction يا relative pronoun دس بيكن اسبت انا ما انا شين كاتا complex sentence بيك يلا clause كي سربخو لقل clause كسربخو نية كاعتماد خاد سر رستاكيتر باشا independent clause, one independent clause and one dependent clause. Okay. I eat rice and beans when I visit my grandmother. Okay, I eat rice and beans. This is our independent clause. When I visit my grandmother is our dependent clause. Why? Because it starts with a relative pronoun, which is what? Which is the word when. So when I visit my grandmother is a dependent clause. Why? Because it does not express a complete thought. I eat rice and beans is a independent clause. It does give us complete thought. All right. When I visit my grandmother, why is it a dependent clause? Because I say when I visit my grandmother, and they're waiting for you to complete your sentence. Yes. Alika arombo malinenkum. They're waiting for you. Chawarata kashti kitrblekata am كلوزا معناه طاوتي نابخش بيسي بشتي كتير معناه كيفاوكا اوكي الكومبلكس سنتنس بيحتوي على جملة مستقلة وجملة غير مستقلة تمام جملة غير مستقلة تعتمد على الجملة الثانية لحتى تكمل معناتها الاندبندنت كلوز هي الجملة المستقلة اللي ما بدها شيء تمام وكمان في عنا dependent clause اللي مانا مستقلة وبدها شيء تاني يكمل المعنى لإلها شلون بنعرف الجملة هي غير مستقلة إنه راح تبدأ ب subordinating conjunction أو بال relative pronoun راح لكم شو هدول بيكونوا عن طريق قائمة مكتوب فيها كل subordinating conjunction وكل relative pronouns هاي الجملة I eat rice and beans when I visit my grandmother أنا باكل رز وفاصوليا لما بروح على بيت جدي أوكي مثلا لما بروح على بيت جدي لحالة بتكون جملة غير مستقلة لأنه لما بنقول لما بروح على بيت جدي إحنا لسه يعني لساتنا عم ننتظر شيء تاني حتى يعني حتى الجملة تصير مكتملة المعناتها ما واضحة بشكل كامل أوكي فبنحتاج ل I eat rice and beans لحتى تكمل المعنى فينا نقول I eat rice and beans when I visit my grandmother كمان فينا نقول when I visit my grandmother كوما فاصلة I eat rice and beans باش أمر استيتو عين بدوش بلين تو عين بلين I eat rice and beans when I visit my grandmother أشتو عين بلين dependent clause كبينينا بيشو بلا ما قد dependent clause هاتا بيشو بيسوان بكوما يدويو If the dependent clause comes first, we need a comma after it. When I visit my grandmother, I eat rice and beans. All right. When I visit my grandmother, again, it's a dependent clause. I eat rice and beans. rice and beans, independent clause. Together, they make up a complex sentence. Let's see another sentence. They missed the class because they were sleeping. Okay. The word because is a subordinating conjunction. Because they were sleeping is a dependent clause because it starts with a subordinating conjunction. Okay. Because they were sleeping. Then what? What is this a reason for? We need something else to complete this meaning. So this is a dependent clause. What is the independent one? They missed the class. Even if we say they missed the class normally without anything else, it would be understood. Emma again they missed the class, but Balam Kalin because they were sleeping. No, it's not understood. Babe awake independent akila kalabe. Mashnia? So they missed the class because they were sleeping is one complex sentence consisting of an independent clause and a dependent one. Okay, the dependent clause starts with a subordinating conjunction, which is the word because. We can also say because they were sleeping, comma, they missed the class. Those cases are both possible. Do you have any questions about the constitution of complex sentences?
No, thanks.
No, miss, thank you.
All right. Let's see what the subordinating conjunctions and the relative pronouns are. So we said a dependent clause starts with a relative pronoun or a subordinating conjunction. These are the relative pronouns and these are the subordinating conjunctions, or some of them, let's say. You will not need more than these, okay? Mostly we will repeat some of them and you'll only see those in your daily usage. Okay, the relative pronouns are the following. Please, there's a noise if you could, okay. All right, these are the relative pronouns. We have who, where, they're also the WH words, you know, the WH question words. They can be used to be, they can be used as relative pronouns. Why, when, which, whose, whom, and that. You see, we have different usages for each of them. We will go over them quickly. We have the relative pronoun who. It relates to people and it will come in the subject position. Yes, Muhammad?
ماما ساتخواب زحمة رصي ديبندد أكري بينك عشان أنا بهوير وأنا بهميش بقول سبيكر بيت.
Of course, that's what I said. I said a dependent clause starts with either a relative pronoun or a subordinating conjunction. So one of these, who, where, when, which, whose, whom, that, or these. After, although, as if, as long as much as soon as though, okay. These words. All right, so yes, the dependent clause starts with one of these. If we didn't have these relative pronouns or subordinating conjunctions, they wouldn't be dependent. They would be independent too. Look at this sentence. If I visit my grandmother, if we remove the when, you just say, I visit my grandmother, then it will also be an independent clause. It wouldn't have a problem. But because we have the relative pronoun when, that is why it has become a dependent clause. Okay? So let's see. You're welcome. The relative pronoun who first, it relates to people. It gives us some information about a person, and then it takes the subject position. They caught the woman who spied for North Korea. Okay. How was this sentence first? They caught the woman. The woman spied for North Korea. We wanted to avoid saying the woman twice. So we say they caught the woman who spied for North Korea. جاتي بلين جنا كان قرت إنجا نقطة جنا كا سيخورين كوريا باكورا ألين جنا كان قرت كسيخوري كوريا باكورا بيكو هي يعني كانت جملتين بالأصل. they caught the woman و the woman spied for North Korea. قاموا بسجن المرأة التي كانت جاسوسة لكوريا شمال جنوب
شمالية.
شمالية. اوكي. المرأة التي كانت جاسوسة لكوريا الشمالية. اوكي. بس اجينا ربطنا الجملتين مع بعض باستخدام ال relative pronoun who وال the woman بتكون الفاعل إذا كانت موجودة. ف that's why we say who relates to the subject. لبرو قالين who subject position ورقري لجيجي subject دانين. لجاتي بلين the woman they caught the woman spied for North Korea. لجاتي the woman يدوم بكارمان هنا كأبوبة بكر أجر هبوا وكالجيجي بكر مان هنا خوشي بجيجي بكر أجرته أبي بpositionي بكر دانره. So who here is يعني الجملة كيف صارت قاموا بسجن المرأة التي كانت جاسوسة لكوريا الشمالية. أوكي يعني مع بعض الجملتين ربطناهم مع بعض باستخدام ال relative pronoun who. So they caught the woman is an independent clause who spied for North Korea is a dependent clause. Okay, why? Because it starts with the relative pronoun who. So this is what? A complex sentence. We have the relative pronoun where next. It refers to places. Okay, it refers to a place. Schön. They visited the street. They lived there. Okay, they lived in the street. Okay, but instead of saying the street again, we just say they lived there. They visited the street where they lived, or they visited the street where they lived there. Okay, where they lived there or where they lived, okay, becomes a dependent clause. They visited the street is an independent clause. This sentence, all of it, is a complex sentence. Next up, we have why. Why refers to a reason. I don't know the reason why she doesn't like ice cream. Okay, I don't know the reason, independent clause, why she doesn't like ice cream, a dependent clause. The whole sentence is a complex one. When refers to time. Valentine's Day is when Valentine's Day is a day when people are happy. There's a missing here. Is a day when people are happy. Valentine's Day is a day, of course. You see, even the independent clause sometimes relates, like gets connected to the dependent one. هنا جار independent clause كشمان ربطي كي دروسكا لقل dependent زكا بلا ما بزانا dependent زكا دايم أويا كبر relative pronoun يا subordinating conjunction دسبيكا. في بعض الأحيان الجملة المستقلة كمان يعني بيكون في عندها شيء ربط مع ال dependent clause يعني بتعتمد عليه شوي بس تذكروا ان ال dependent clause دائما بتبدأ بال subordinating clauses subordinating conjunctions أو ال relative pronouns. So when people are happy, dependent clause. Valentine's Day is a day, independent clause, which relates to animals and objects, which. Okay, so I lost my wallet, which my mother gave me. There's a V missing here. Okay, I lost my wallet, which my mother gave me. Which my mother gave me is a dependent clause. It starts with the relative, relative pronoun which. Okay, which stands for the wallet. I lost my wallet. The wallet my mother gave me. Okay, and we remove the second, the wallet, and we say which instead of it. It relates to an object here. Which أجرته بشتكي بيجان ياخد حيوانك. So I lost my wallet is an independent clause, which my mother gave me is a dependent clause. We have next whose. Whose refers to possession. What do we mean by possession? We said we have something called the possessive S. We said possessive means
خاوەندارێتی
خاوەندارێتی أو التملك. Okay, so possession here means تملك يا خاوەندارێتی. Whose is used for that purpose. When we say whose phone is this, whose phone is this, what kind of whose? WHOSE, not who is, whose. It's a question word for to ask about possession, all right? So here again, it's a relative pronoun that refers to possession. She is the woman whose sister lives in London, okay? أو عفرتكي كخشككي للندن أجي, okay? خشككي أو للندن أجي, all right? So the sentence was as follows. She's the woman's sister lives in London. The woman's sister lives in London. So she's the woman whose sister lives in London. It refers to possession. Whose sister? Her sister. She's the woman is a independent clause. Whose sister lives in London is a dependent clause. It's all a complex one. Whom is a relative pronoun. Don't think about it too much. It can be confusing a bit, but it relates to people, but it takes the object position, not the subject one. It takes the object position. Okay. Whom وكو هواية بلام positioning object ورقنا next subject. The difference is that Michael, whom lives in Texas, is an engineer. Why didn't we say Michael, who lives in Texas, is an engineer? Okay, because Michael lives in Texas, okay? Michael is an engineer, but which Michael? The one who lives in Texas. Okay, I will give you more examples about the difference between who and whom. It's not very clear here, but what you need to know is that whom relates, takes the object position in the sentence. I will give you other sentences about this later. Remember it, okay? We will do difference between whom and who, okay? Michael is an engineer is an independent clause. So Michael is an engineer is an independent clause. Whom lives in Texas is the dependent one. Okay, so sometimes we can separate the independent clause into two parts and put the dependent one right between them. We have another one, relative pronoun, which is that. It's used for people, animals, and things, all of them together. So who is used for people, which is used for animals and objects, that is used for people, animals, and objects. So when you're not sure if it's an animal or an object or a person, just use that.
It's the common one.
Yeah, it is the common one because people are just lazy. They don't want to choose between who and which, so they just say that.
I used to do that as well.
Yeah.
The one.
It's all right. It's definitely all right. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one relates to people, animals, and things. Austin was the place that I graduated from. You know, you don't need this part of university. You can say Austin University was the place that I graduated from. But there's a problem, you know, in English grammar. They say that a sentence should not end with a preposition. Alan rastana be preposition kotaibe. But I think that's changing, and especially in speech, a lot of sentences do end in a preposition. But in this case, this is why we have the word university here. So it would not end in a preposition. See, Austin was the place, that is the independent clause, that I graduated from university is the dependent clause. And in this way, we have a complex sentence. Let's take a look at the subordinating conjunctions as well. These are subordinating conjunctions. Whenever we have a sentence starting with them, it will be a dependent clause. You can notice that we have when here as well. and why even here, who even here. See, they are, yes, they are relative pronouns, but they are counted as subordinating conjunctions as well sometimes. After, although, as if, as long as much as soon as though, because, before, even if, even though, if only, if when, if then, inasmuch, in order that, just as, lest. Lest has some kind of, a careful, a warning meaning to it. Okay, يعني نوك أو ربات نوك أو ربا حتى نتفادى حدوث هذا الشيء. في له معنى تحذيري تقريبا. Okay. Now, since, now that, now when, once, provided that, rather that, since, so that, supposing, than, that, though, till, unless, until, when, whenever, where, whereas, where, if, wherever, whether, which, while, who, whoever, and why. You see, these are all subordinating conjunctions. They can help you identify the dependent clauses and sentences. أمانة أتوانن يارمتيت بن ك dependent clause كان بناسي تولا رستا. We will look at some more examples for the whom. Remind me of that even if I forget. And we'll take a look at some examples as well for complex sentences. Who would like to read? Who would like to read? No? Okay, yes, cautious.
I raised my hand.
Okay, Esther, go number one.
Okay. Although my friends begged me, I choose not to go to the reunion.
Okay, although my friends begged me, I chose not to go to the reunion. Where's the dependent clause?
The dependent clause is although. Although my friends, this one is dependent.
Yes,
Although
although my friends begged me, comma, is the dependent clause. Yes, that is the dependent one. Why? Because it starts with the subordinating conjunction, although. I chose not to go to the reunion. Reunion is كوبنا ويبونمونا دواي high school دواي مكتب تخرج كان بلام كوبنا دوباره وبيوتر reunion. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks so much. I chose not to go to the reunion as an independent clause. So this is a complex sentence. Thank you, Esther. Yes, cautious number two.
I learned English perfect because I studied very hard.
Studied because I studied very hard. Yes. Where is the dependent clause?
Must.
No. It should start with a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun. Choose the dependent one, dependent. Yes, because I studied very hard. Because akashi lagal aga darba koshish. Because akash lagal baqi rastaga abeba dependent clause. Okay? Yeah, yeke la panjao shagan, ya yeke la relative pronoun akan. Who, which, when, that, whom, whose, anash, agreto. Okay? Yes. What about the independent one? Independent clause? Independent clause aka kwa? Our dependent bu. Independent aka kwa? I learned English perfectly. Yes, the rest of it is the independent clause. All right, thank you, Kosh. Yes, Zirian, number three.
Yes, many people enjoyed the movie. However, Alex did not.
Many people enjoy the movie or independent. However, Alex did not depend it.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Yes, many people enjoyed the movie. This is an independent clause. However, Alex did not. Okay, this one is a dependent clause. So the complex sentence contains an independent clause. أبيك independent clause يتابع باش بلام أتواني لدependentك زيادة يتابع at least one dependent clause يعني أتوانين dependent زياتر مان هبه بلام يك independent زياتر مان نابه هبه فينا يكون عندنا أكثر من جملة غير مستقلة في ال complex sentence بس عندنا جملة واحدة مستقلة تمام so في عندنا واحد independent clause بس فينا يكون عندنا أكثر من واحد dependent clause. All right, yes, Kani, can you read number 4?
Also, the farm is ready. The ground is still too wet to plow.
Okay.
Yeah, first one is a dependent clause. Also is also one of the conjunction. And second one is independent clause.
Yeah, very good. Although the farm is ready is a dependent clause because it starts with although, and the ground is still too wet to plow is what is an independent clause. Okay, number 5. Yes, Muhammad.
If the ozone layer collapse, the global community will suffer. If the ozone layer collapse, dependent clause. The global community will suffer, independent clause.
Okay, very good. If the ozone layer collapses, أجا طبقة أوزون take بشي ياخد بابلين دابروخة, the global community will suffer. مروفاتي أزاريكي زورة شجع إذا طبقة الأوزون اختفت الناس راح يعني يواجهوا صعوبات كثيرة. They will suffer. If the ozone layer collapses, it starts with if, so this is the dependent clause. The global community will suffer is an independent clause. All right. Yes, Benar, number 6.
Although I'm not very good, I really enjoy playing football. Although I'm not very good, it's a depend clause. I really enjoy playing football. It's an independent clause.
Yes, thank you very much. Why do we have all these commas? Because we have started the sentences with a dependent clause. If we switch the places, we would say, I really enjoy playing football, although I'm not very good at it. Yes, we will remove the comma. Yes, thank you, Benar. If we change the position of number 5 as well, we would say the global community will suffer if the ozone layer collapses. Okay? Yes, thanks, Benar. All right, who wants to read number 7? Yes, Gulchin, can you read number 7?
I did like to see the North Pole, but will never go where it is that cold.
Okay, yes, thank you. Where is the dependent clause? Gulchin, where is the dependent clause?
ما عم يقول إنه
the dependent clause, where is it? The dependent clause.
إنه ما راح أروح لأنه الجو بارد.
تمام. But read the sentence for me. Which is the dependent one?
Ball wheel. But will never go where it is that cold.
Yes, that is the dependent one because it starts with the word but. Yes, I would like to see the North Pole. في بدي شوف القطب الشمالي بس أنا but ما راح أروح على أي مكان بهذا البرد. All right. So I would like to see the North Pole as an independent clause, but I will never go where it's that cold is a dependent one. and that's why the sentence is a complex sentence. Yes, Koshish, read number 8.
Because he did not know the route
The route.
well, he drove slowly.
Okay, where is the independent clause?
هم صار ليرة تسبيك على will he drove.
He drove slowly. لدوي
نعم.
كوماكو كوشش لبري بيش كوماكا dependent. Okay, so
بلا.
he drove slowly independent. Because he didn't know the route well. The route is regaka. Okay, the route well. How many
أو رستيدو عشان هم depend دوا.
because he didn't know the route well. How many dependent clause because the super okay.
بلا.
ولا بروي dependent كي كم شت هاتوا كوماك ماندانا ولا دوايو. He drove slowly independent كي بمشي ويا مرستي complex.
بلا بس ما مساوي دوام كوماشتي لقال أنا بو.
لقل يعني يلا بروي because لدواو هاتوا. أقل
بلا.
بيش شوبت إنجا كومايو.
بلا. تسخج ماس.
You're welcome. All right, number 9. Let me read number 9. Walking through the wood, he saw a fox that was following him. Okay. Walking through the wood, he saw a fox that was following him. What kind of yeah, walking through the wood is our dependent clause because it means when he was walking through the wood. Okay. It's omitted. The when is omitted here because the meaning is, it's sometimes clear, somehow clear. To make it shorter, they have omitted the word when. So when he was walking through the wood, he saw a fox that was following him. He saw a fox that was following him is the independent clause. And when he was walking through the wood, when a command labrador, walking through the wood is the dependent one. ليرة بابلين subordinating conjunction كمان لابرا بلام بوني هي بشي أزاين بوني هي ببي معناه كي وببي وشك كومادان را. كلمة الوين subordinating conjunction ما موجود بالجملة رقم 9 بس هو يعني مضمون ضمن المعنى. When he was walking through the wood لما كان بيمشي بالغابة شاف fox is
شاف الثعلب انه عم
ثعلب ايه شاف ثعلب كان بيتبعه. yes. So yes معنى الوين مضمونة ضمن المعنى بس احنا كيف نعرف انه هي موجودة لانه walking through the wood في معناتها موجود when he was walking through the wood وكمان في بعدها فاصلة.
كمان مثل في شغلة تانية إنه walking through the wood إنه هي لحالها يعني بتحس إنه الجملة مو كاملة لسه بدها شيء.
Exactly. You feel like it's not complete, yes, but you can understand it, but you do know there's something more to it, yeah? When he was walking through the wood, he saw a fox that was following him. If we switch the places of the sentences, he saw a fox that was following him when he was walking through the wood. You need to add the when if you switch the places. All right.
Yes.
How about number 10? Yes, Esther, read number 10.
When Uncle Samuel comes to town, we all have a good time. So when Uncle Samuel comes, it's in a dependent clause, and the other one is independent clause.
Okay, very good. Yes. Yes. Do you guys have any question about the complex sentences?
No, it's easy.
Okay. هيج برسالة عني لسر independent لسر complex sentences. Go ahead.
Miss.
Yes.
Ninth sentence. The second part. He saw a fox. Is dependent just that's a dependent or all?
He saw a fox that was following him is independent.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. The dependent one is walking through the woods. Why? Because it has the meaning of when he was walking through the wood, yeah? When is a subordinating conjunction, but it's omitted here. But we understand it from the meaning.
Right.
Okay. No questions? ما في عندكم أسئلة عن ال complex sentences?
No, miss, thank you.
All right. Next up, we have compound complex sentences. So we will have the compound and the complex too, both of them together. Let's see how we will work this one out. So a compound complex sentence contains the coordinating conjunctions and the subordinating conjunctions and relative pronouns. So you need to know the difference between them. I'll tell you one last time. See, coordinating conjunctions, they're the fanboys. Okay, that is the coordinating conjunctions. What about the subordinating one? It's although, if, as far as long as, the, you know, the 50 word list? Okay, we also have the relative pronouns, which are when, who, that, which, whose. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, whose and where. Yes. Okay, so the coordinating conjunctions were the fanboys. Subordinating conjunctions are the words like as far as, until, till, although, however, wherever, whenever. Okay, and what about the relative pronouns? They're when, who, that, which, and where, and whose. Okay, those are the different types of the conjunctions. And in compound complex sentences, we have both the types. Okay, a compound complex sentence consists of at least two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. What's very necessary in a all right, sorry about that. Yes. What's very important in a compound complex sentence is that we need two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. At least على الأقل جملتين مستقلتين في عنا بالcompound complex sentence وعلى الأقل جملة غير مستقلة واحدة. So على الأقل two independent clause وعلى الأقل على الأقل dependent clause واحدة. So two independent clauses and one dependent clause ضرورية وجود. But we can have more as well. Okay, يعني زور ضرورية do independent clause معنها ويك dependent إيش معنها بيرستي compound complex بلا متوانين زيادتريش معنها لونه لكمبلكسة على الأقل بيس ما بتشيبه يك independent و at least يك dependent باش compound do independent بو compound complex شونا at least two independent one or more dependent clauses. So independent plus independent plus dependent. We left in a hurry after hearing the news, but it was nothing serious. Okay. We left in a hurry. This is an independent clause. After hearing the news, this is a dependent one, but it was nothing serious. This one is again independent. Why? Because it begins with the coordinating conjunction, which is but, one of the fanboys. Yes? So we left in a hurry, independent. It was nothing serious, independent. After hearing the news is dependent because it starts with subordinating conjunction after. هاي الجملة في عنا we left in a hurry, independent, but it was nothing serious. It was nothing serious كمان independent. ليه؟ لأنه ابتدت بالcoordinating conjunction but اللي هي واحدة من الفان بويز. وكمان في عنا جملة بعد after hearing the news. This one is a dependent one. So في عنا جملتين مستقلتين, 2 independent clauses and 1 dependent clause, and this gives us a compound complex sentence. All right. I didn't eat. I had already eaten because I was not hungry. We have these clauses. I didn't eat is an independent clause. I had already eaten is an independent clause. Why? Because it starts with for. For is one of the fanboys. Because I was not hungry, because here is one of the subordinating conjunctions, and that's what makes because I was not hungry a dependent clause. Yes. So I did not eat, independent. I had already eaten, independent. Because I was not hungry, dependent. So this gives us 2 independent clauses, one dependent clause, and it consists a compound complex sentence. Okay, next up. When I was a child, I wanted to be a doctor and my mother was proud of me. I wanted to be a doctor, independent. My mother was proud of me, independent. Why? Because it starts with and is a coordinating conjunction. It is one of the fanboys. That is why it gives us an independent clause. I wanted to be a doctor, independent. My mother was proud of me, independent. When I was a child starts with a relative pronoun, so it's a dependent clause. So now we have 2 independent and 1 dependent. It results in a compound complex sentence. جمله كمان هيك dependent بولا بريبا relative pronoun when دسي بيكردوا. When I was a child I'm out man dependent. I wanted to be a doctor. I'm an independent. My mother was proud of me, again independent. بريبا and دسي بيكردوا and يكي كلا fan boys كان بوازانين كأورستيمان independent. كاتدو independent ويك dependent شيمان دسكو رستيكي compound complex. في عنا جملة dependent when I was a child لأنه ابتدت بكلمة when وهي relative pronoun للوقت. و I wanted to be a doctor جملة مستقلة independent. My mother was proud of me جملة مستقلة independent. ليه؟ لأنه ابتدت بالcoordinating conjunction and اللي هي واحدة من الفان بويز مثل for وكمان مثل but. وكلمة after because when after because بيكونوا subordinating conjunctions when بيكون relative pronoun. وهيك لما بيكون عنا جملتين independent وجملة واحدة dependent بيصير عنا compound complex sentence. Any questions about the constitution of compound complex? شرطني بدوية هاتبن لا محمد شرطني بدوية هاتبن أبي relative pronoun كان بيانستو. تركيبي جملة رستا أتواني بكيف خاطر خي. These are good أمانة بوشي باشن لبروي إيوة كدستان كربانوسين چنجورێکی جیاوازی ڕستە بەکار بێنن نەک هەر simple بەکاربێنن لەبەروی نووسینەکەتان ناشرینەکە. شو هي استفادة أنواع الجمل؟ تغيير تركيبة الجمل، إنه لحتى لما تجوا تكتبوا مقالة أو باراجراف أو شيء تغيروا بتركيبات الجمل لحتى الجمل مالتكم ما تكون كلها simple ويصيب يعني هذا الشيء راح يصيب القارئ بالملل إذا كل الجمل تبعكم simple. مثلا I am بانو I am a teacher I am 30 years old I am working at the moment. I have one brother. This is really boring, you know, it's monotonous and it's boring. So we need to change up the sentence structures and sentence types to make our writing more exciting, more interesting. بۆی ڕنووسینەکەمان جوانتر بێ با بڵێین خەڵک زیاتر حەز بکە بیخوێنێتەوە پێویستە گۆڕانکاری هەبێ لە جۆری ڕستەکانە. لازم يكون في تغيير في أنواع الجمل في الكتابات حتى القارئ ما يصيبه الملل. Okay, and this is why we're taking these types of sentences. I want you to use them in your writing in the coming lectures. All right, so that's about compound complex sentences. We have one more example. They're made from two independent clauses and one or more dependent clause. Although I like to go camping, okay, I haven't had the time to go lately, and I haven't found anyone to go with. Although I like to go camping is a dependent clause because it starts with although. I haven't had the time to go lately is an independent clause. Independent clause. Okay. And I haven't found anyone to go with. Again, an independent clause because it starts with and, which is a coordinating conjunction, one of the fanboys. That is why I haven't had the time to go lately. Independent clause. I haven't found anyone to go with. Independent clause. And the dependent one is although I like to go camping. Why? Because it starts with a subordinating conjunction, although. Questions?
No question. Sorry.
Okay. ما عندكم أي أسئلة عن ال compound complex sentences؟ هیچ پرسیارتان نییە لەسەر ئەم بابەتانەی ئەمڕۆ؟ Okay, we'll take a 10 minutes break. Please think about any questions if you have them. See if you have any questions. After the break, we'll do an exercise and then we will do another reading passage. All right, guys, let's move to today's passage. Do you have any questions about yesterday's? Did you do the questions? Did you solve the questions in the passage from yesterday? Yes, no, hello. Anyone? Did you read yesterday's passage again? Did you do the questions?
Me, no. Because
No thanks. No thanks. Muhammad is saying no thanks. Yes, Esther, did you do it?
I said me, no, because I reviewed the computer lessons because we had.
Okay, okay, guys, don't start with
I
this.
say no question.
You know, even if with the other groups, they would always study for computer and ignore the English lessons. I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm not going to take that now. هيك لا تقولوا لي كنا مشغولين بالكمبيوتر ما أعرف شو. اهتموا بالدرس الإنجليزي كمان. الإنجليزي راح يساعدكم بالكمبيوتر كمان لأنه الكمبيوتر كله إنجليزي تمام؟
Right.
You need English for computer
We should
class as
pay
well.
attention to English
Yeah,
lessons.
please don't ignore it because even if I help you 50%, the remaining 50 will be on you guys. Okay,
Yes.
and English is a language. If you don't practice it, it's not going to go anywhere. هیچ سود نبینن لیک دوره اگر خودتان ایش لسر انگلیزی کتان نکن. Okay, I'm pretty sure you all know that. So please, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Let's take a look at yesterday's text. Answer the questions. I know we read it, so choose the first one. When does Valentine's Day take place in the United States? It's pretty easy.
On February 14th.
Yes.
On February.
Yeah.
14th.
B. February 14th. Yes. 14th.
Yes,
Yes. What does Valentine's Day technically signify? The accomplishments of Saint Valentine, or love throughout the ages, or the fun of gifts, or none of the above?
Actually, there are 3 reasons for Valentine's Day.
No, what does it technically signify? Look, it literally says takes place on February 14th and technically signifies the... Yes, Zirian?
Accomplishment of Valentine.
Yeah, the accomplishments of Saint Valentine. Yes.
Yes.
All right. The question number 3. Which of the following gifts are commonly given on Valentine's Day? Chocolates, flowers, greeting cards, or all of the above? Yes, Mohammed.
So number 4, all of the above.
All of the above, yes. Besides in the US, where is Valentine's Day celebrated? In Europe and South America, in Oceania, what is Oceania? And Western Europe, across the globe, or in the United Kingdom? Yes, Kani.
I think across the globe.
Across the globe, yeah. Okay. The final one. Which colors are generally understood to represent Valentine's Day? Red, green, pink, or A and C? Yes, yes, Bernard.
Red ones.
Yes, Arkan. Red? Are you sure? Yes, Koshish, what do you think?
ما صبوا دوما
أخير دائما.
أخيرا ما بينزل.
Yeah, which colors are generally understood to represent Valentine's Day?
Red.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Not based on your information, based on the information from the text. Does it say only red?
Red and pink.
Red and pink, yes. So A and C. It's not red alone. All right. We have another text. We'll move to that one. Where is it? Okay, who would like to read the first paragraph? Let me choose myself. Forget about that. Yes, Madeline, can you read the first paragraph? I mean, the first 2 to 3 sentences. Madeline. تفضلي قري لنا الباراجراف الأول. All right, no problem. Yes. Yes, Kagar can read first paragraph, please.
Yes,
please.
Great is at the pet store.
George.
George is at the pet store. Looking at what kind of pet he might want to get for his to care for his birthday. George asked if he could have a horse. But his parents but his parents said
no. Said no. Yeah.
Said no. Sorry. because ours are too big.
Yes, George is
First,
at, yes, thank you. George is at the pet store looking at what not kind of pet he might want to get for his birthday. George asked if he could have a horse, but his parents said no because horses are too big. Yes, Kenny, can you read the second part?
First, he sees dogs and cats. Baby dogs are called puppies. Baby cats are called kittens. George likes them because they are easy to take care and can play a lot, but they'll get bigger. George wants a small pet.
Yes, thank you.
Mm.
Yes, Esther, can you read the third part?
Then George sees animals that have to live in a cage. He sees rabbits, guinea pigs, and mice. Mice are what you call more than one mouse. He likes these animals because they are small. Birds live in cages too. George sees a parrot and a canary. He likes them all, but he doesn't want to clean the cage.
Yes, thank you. Then George sees animals that have to live in a cage. He sees rabbits, كروشك أو what's a rabbit in Arabic?
أرنب.
Yes, أو الأرانب. أرانب. Guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are really small pigs. Let me show you. Okay, this is a guinea pig. You see, it's really, really cute. I don't know why it's called a pig. This is a guinea pig. Okay.
Look like
Alright.
hamster.
Yeah, it
Isn't
looks
it?
like a yeah, it looks like a hamster, but no, it's not a hamster. It's different. It's a bit bigger than a hamster. Okay. Then and mice. Mice are what you call more than one mouse. Mice is the plural of mouse. He likes these animals because they're small. Birds. George sees a parrot. Parrot is a بغبغاء ياخد توتي. Yes.
Tutti.
And a canary. Canary her canary الله يخوشمان. He likes them all, but he doesn't want to clean the cage. لا يقفص باكاتو طاقتين. Okay. The fourth part, who would like to read? Yes. Yes, Benar.
George sees the animals in tanks. The tanks full of water have fish and turtles in them. He thinks about a goldfish, but decides he likes the turtle more. There are also tanks with rocks and sand that have snakes, spiders, and scorpions, but George is afraid of them. George likes the turtles best, but they will not feed the little fish balls. Turtles need bigger tanks so they can swim sometimes and hide sometimes.
Yes,
The other
thank you.
one?
Yeah,
Should
that's
I
a thank you. No, thank you. So George sees the animals in tanks. The tanks full of water have fish and turtles. Turtle يعني كيصل سلحفاة. Okay, turtle. He thinks about a goldfish. Goldfish is a kind of fish that is small and golden, but decides he likes the turtles more. Rocks and sands, snakes, مار أو الأفعي. Spiders is جالجالوكا أو
عنكبوت.
Yes, عنكبوت. Scorpions is دوبشك أو what is scorpion in Arabic? It's scorpion is
دوبش.
yeah, I know. العقرب, yes. In Arabic it's عقرب. In Kurdish, yes, دوبشك. Thank you. All right. Let's move on to the final part. George decides he wants to get a turtle for his birthday. He buys a book on how to take care of a turtle and a list of what types of turtles the store has. Okay. Who wants to read all of it? Yes, Koshish, can you read? I will help you.
أمي خوي الخرا
All of it.
ليكم متأخر
Yes.
أيوة أوكي ما فهمناك
It's okay. I'll help you. Go ahead.
ما سامي يكم نازم هيك
What?
أما
George.
جورج
George. George, it's
جو
a name.
جورج
Yes.
George George is at the pet
Store, not story, store.
store looking at what kind of pet
Kind of pet.
kind of pet he might want to get for his birthday. George asked if he could have a horse, but his parents said no because horses are too big.
Horses are too big. Horses, asip.
Horse.
Yes.
First he sees dogs and cats. Baby dogs are killed puppies. Baby cat
are
puppies.
called puppies. Yes.
Puppies, baby cat are called
kittens. Yes.
George them because they are safe to take care.
They are easy to take care of. They are easy to take care of. يعني آسانة أقعد ليان به. بخيو كرنيان آسانة. Easy to take care of. Yes.
Take care of and can play a lot, but they will get bigger.
George.
ما أخذ شامبي شناتهم ذو بيخدموا.
Okay,
George
I'll make
wants
it for you. Yes. George wants a small pet.
ما مساخات أخوانا ذو نشوفهم. They George see animals that have to live in
a cage.
He sees rabbits
guinea pigs
and mice are what you call more than one mouse. He likes this mouse.
Yes,
these animals because they are small birds.
Small, not small,
small birds. Birds live in cats too. George sees a parrot and a canary. He likes canary. He likes them all, but he doesn't want to clean the cage.
Okay, Gorgeous, thank you.
You're
yes, who would like to read? Yes, Muhammad Nabil, can you read the rest of the passage? Muhammad Nabil, yes. No? Okay. Yes, Zirian, can you read?
Yes. George sees animal in tank. The tank full of water have fish and turtle in them. He thinks about goldfish but decides he likes the turtle more. There are also tanks with rocks and sand that have snake, spider, and scorpion. But George,
Scorpions.
but George is afraid of them. George likes the turtle best, but they won't fight in the little fish bowl. Turtles need bigger tanks.